Good morning, America, for our viewers in the West. Rising tensions with Venezuela, powerful storms coast to coast, and the little miracle home just in time for the holidays. Major escalation. The U.S. seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. The latest show of force as President Trump steps up pressure on the Venezuelan president.
Catastrophic flooding. After days of torrential rain in the Pacific Northwest, the evacuations in the middle of the night. First responders raced to the rescue with rivers at historic levels and the snow sweeping from the Midwest to Northeast with another Arctic blast on the way.
Air safety setback? This morning, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board slams a defense bill making its way through Congress.
If it sounds like I'm mad, I am mad. This is shameful.
Why she says it would make flying in and out of the nation's capital more dangerous. And what could happen to changes made after the mid-air collision of a military helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet that killed 67 people.
We should be working together in partnership to prevent the next accident, not inviting history to repeat itself.
This morning, reaction from the families of the crash victims.
Out of bounds. Former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore detained by police after he was fired following an investigation by the school.
The comeback kid with a grandkid.
Rivers throws off his back foot, lofts it down the far sideline, touchdown!
Will Phillip Rivers take the field on football Sunday? How the grandpa is gearing up.
That's what I'm talking about! Heck yeah! Woo!
The heart-stopping incident 15,000 feet in the air. Skydivers hanging on to the side of the plane when suddenly a parachute accidentally deploys way too early. One man sent into free fall, another tangled around the tail of the plane. How both managed to land safely.
Little miracle. After 17 years of praying for another baby, how two proud parents got their wish. Mom went in for surgery and came out with the surprise of a lifetime.
I knew that I was pregnant for about 5 days.
They spoke to GMA about the remarkable rare birth.
How are you today? Good morning.
Good morning, little Ryu.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
As a cute little baby boy.
Cute little baby boy, yes.
Pinch his nose.
Well, good morning, America. You know, it's 14 days until Christmas, so it's crunch time. This morning, our GMA Dream Team has everything you need to know about holiday shopping and, of course, shipping as well.
That is important. Plus, we have some sweet news about chocolate and aging and which type you should be eating. Dr. Narula will tell us about that.
Also, we're tracking the battle over health care with insurance premiums set to rise for more than 20 million Americans. That's going to happen on January 1st, and the Senate is holding critical votes as time runs out. First, a major escalation in President Trump's pressure campaign against Venezuela and its leader. The U.S. seized an oil tanker off the coast of the South American country. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz starts us off. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The Venezuelan government is calling the seizure a blatant theft and an act of international piracy. But whatever you call it, there is no question that this is a major escalation in an already volatile standoff.
This morning, extraordinary video released by the Trump administration showing the seizure of an oil tanker off of Venezuela. A dramatic escalation in President Trump's effort to pressure Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Watch as U.S. Navy helicopters swarmed the tanker, one hovering over the ship as a team of heavily armed Coast Guard forces rappelled down to the deck. President Trump announcing the seizure hours later.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening.
This is the first time President Trump has overtly targeted Venezuela's oil exports, the government's main source of revenue. The president saying the U.S. may confiscate the oil on board.
What happens to the oil on this ship? Well, we keep it, I guess.
Attorney General Pam Bondi writing on social media that the tanker was used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran and is part of an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
It was seized for a very good reason.
Sources telling ABC News the tanker called the Skipper was heading for Cuba. It was previously sanctioned under a different name back in 2022, and satellite images show the tanker loading crude oil at Venezuela's Jose oil terminal just last month. The seizure of the tanker comes as the U.S. military has conducted 22 strikes on alleged drug boats that have left nearly 90 people dead. No evidence of drug smuggling has been made public. The White House insisting the strikes are lawful, arguing the U.S. is in a formal armed conflict with drug cartels, an assertion disputed by a wide range of legal experts, while lawmakers on both sides of the aisle caution against dragging the U.S. into another conflict.
I can't even imagine that the American people will have any appetite for yet another forever war.
The president admitting to Politico he wants to see Maduro go.
How far would you go to take Maduro out of office?
I don't want to say that,
But you want to see him out?
His days are numbered.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it.
And President Trump is already threatening others, warning the president of Colombia to wise up or he might be next. Of course, at the same time, President Trump has pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was convicted and serving time in a U.S. prison for drug trafficking. Robin?
Yes, we do remember that, Martha. Thank you. For more on President Trump stepping up pressure on Venezuela, let's bring in our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Robin, good morning. As this standoff escalates, big questions remain about President Trump's end goal and where this is all heading. Trump says Maduro is a narco-terrorist, and this is all about stemming the flow of drugs into the U.S., although Venezuela is not the main supplier of illicit drugs into the U.S. But members of both parties say this is really about regime change. Trump denies that, but he has been blunt, saying he thinks Maduro's days are numbered. He wants him gone. And Trump is putting enormous pressure on Maduro with a huge show of force in the region, his continued deadly strikes on alleged drug boats, and now this, seizing this oil tanker. It's all intended to squeeze Maduro even further. But it's unclear where this is ultimately going. It's been a month since Trump said he had sort of made up his mind about next steps, but since then he has offered little clarity. And all of this coming as Venezuelan opposition leader Marina Machado is now in Oslo after accepting the Nobel Peace Prize, her first public appearance in 11 months, and just moments ago she confirmed the U.S. did assist her with her travel there. Michael?
Hopefully some clarity is coming soon. Thank you so much for that, Mary. We're going to turn now to the extreme weather slamming both coasts this morning. Severe flooding in the Pacific Northwest and snow pounding the Great Lakes region and New England. We have team coverage of the dangerous weather, starting with Trevor Alt on the scene in a Washington neighborhood with writhing floodwaters. And Trevor, there was some evacuations in the middle of the night.
There sure were, Michael. I mean, look at this. This is Issaquah Creek here, really raging this morning up into this parking lot. And look at this. This is an apartment complex that in the middle of the night, fire crews had to come and get everybody out, more than a dozen units, because the water level continues to rise. This is a problem all over the Pacific Northwest, several rivers threatening to set new record high river levels.
This morning, catastrophic flooding across the Pacific Northwest. Water submerging homes and highways in Washington. This camper community evacuated and in jeopardy.
A lot of these other campers weren't able to be saved.
That atmospheric river inundating the region, dumping more than a foot of rain, putting 5 million people under flood watch. First responders across the state braving the high waters, making rescues. 18 people, along with their pets, all rescued by the fire department, and 2 Black Hawk Army helicopters used to rescue people from the Yakima River region.
I found myself stuck on a little piece of land out there with my 4 cats and had to wade through water up to my chest.
And powerful winds and heavy rain causing concern for landslides like this on I-90. Overnight, evacuation orders put in place in Skagit County and all surrounding areas. Washington's governor declaring a state of emergency after the torrential rains have now battered the state for a 3rd day, giving a stark warning to residents.
If you receive an evacuation order, please follow that order. This is critical for your safety.
And emergency crews are urging everybody to be ready to go at a moment's notice because we're expecting more heavy rainfall through the morning. We've watched the waters rise just since we've been here this morning, but some of these rivers might not fully crest until midday tomorrow. It could be a very dangerous 24 hours. George?
Okay, Trevor, thanks very much. Across the country, it's brutally cold in upstate New York. Stephanie Ramos is there south of Buffalo. Good morning, Stephanie.
Hey, good morning, George. We are south of Buffalo in Dunkirk. We drove through lake-effect snow bands to get here, and more bands are on the way, making travel treacherous. But take a look. This is the big concern. Black ice. Take a look at the road here. It is covered in ice. You can see just how slick it is. The temperatures dropping significantly this morning, and in some areas, the wind chill going down to the single digits. You can try and pick up this snow. It's going to be tough, though. It's crunchy, and that's because a lot of it is frozen. This Arctic air-fueled snowstorm stretches from the Midwest to the east, and here in western New York, especially between Buffalo and Erie, we could see the heaviest snow totals today, Robin.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay, Stephanie, our thanks to you. And Ginger is here, tracking timing of both these storms.
Yeah, it's a good reminder, too, what Stephanie just said. Not just the black ice, but when that snow band comes through, it can not be there and then be there in a moment. So I want to show you the lake effect that's happening at this hour. Just streaming in with those west-northwest winds in western Pennsylvania and New York. We're going to continue seeing this through the day. So it ends up adding 6 to 12 inches in some of the highest elevations just east of Dunkirk, likely. Now, let's talk about the Pacific Northwest, because that's real headline here. Through the day today, this is day 4 of getting just pounded by this fire hose of moisture. We've got river flooding on everything you see highlighted in blue. And remember, as Trevor said, those rivers don't just stop going up after the rain stops falling. So even though tomorrow it gets drier, you're going to see those rivers keep swelling. And that's going to happen even though Saturday's dry. Unfortunately, Michael, by next week, we have more rain on the way.
Oh, that's not the news anybody wants to hear, Ginger, but thank you for that. And we're going to go now to fears of a possible significant air safety setback. The chair of the National Transportation Safety Board is slamming a new defense bill, saying it would make flying in and out of the nation's capital more dangerous. Elizabeth Schulze has the latest details for us. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Michael. It's been almost 1 year since that midair collision here at Reagan National Airport took the lives of 67 people. Now a bill that was just passed by lawmakers in the House could undermine safety changes that were put in place after the crash. This morning, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board slamming a defense bill making its way through Congress, saying it would make flying in and out of the nation's capital more dangerous.
If it sounds like I'm mad, I am mad. This is shameful.
Jennifer Homendy says the NTSB vehemently opposes part of the bill that would roll back safety improvements put in place after last January's midair collision of a military helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet near Reagan National Airport. 67 people were killed in the crash.
This is a significant safety setback.
In the wake of the tragedy, military aircraft were banned from flying around Reagan Airport. The new defense bill would allow exemptions to that policy.
We should be working together in partnership to prevent the next accident, not inviting history to repeat itself.
Families of the crash victims call the proposed exemptions deeply concerning. But supporters say military choppers on training missions would still be required to warn other aircraft about their position or get a waiver from the transportation secretary. It's very rare for the NTSB to weigh in on legislation. The chair says she has no idea how these safety rollbacks ended up in the bill. She wasn't consulted. The Senate could still make changes ahead of a final vote expected next week. Guys.
Okay, Elizabeth, thanks for turning now to some stunning video, 15,000 feet in the air. You see these skydivers narrowly averted disaster after a parachute went off too early. Larry, this is really something.
Unbelievable. Good morning to you, George. It was a scary moment in the sky over Australia, and it is all caught on tape. A group of skydivers getting ready to jump and perform a tricky formation when things go horribly wrong. This morning, newly released dramatic video capturing a skydiver narrowly averting disaster 15,000 feet in the air. Officials in Australia sharing these stunning images. A group of 17 skydivers readying for a formation jump when things suddenly start to go wrong. One skydiver hanging onto the side of the plane is sent into a free fall after another's reserve parachute was accidentally deployed. His parachute then gets wrapped around the tail of the plane. You can see him dangling as most of the group make the jump. The man using a hook knife cutting the lines to free himself and release his main chute. But as it opens, another near catastrophe as it tangles with the ropes of the reserve chute.
Carrying a hook knife secured to the parachute container could be life-saving in the event of a premature reserve parachute deployment.
Somehow, though, he manages to regain control and land safely. Wow. Just terrifying to watch. And that jump was part of a huge skydiving event. It happened in September. The video now just released after an investigation into what went wrong. All of those skydivers are fine, just understandably very shaken up, guys.
As we're shaken up, we're just watching it.
Just watching it is tough.
Wow, indeed. All right, Larry, thank you. Now to the grandpa of the gridiron.
Get off this man's back.
Speaking about coming out of retirement, Philip Rivers explained his decision to return to the NFL after nearly 5 years away in San Francisco.
He's 44.
Right. He's a young
grandpa.
He's a young, fit grandpa.
Yeah.
How about if we go there?
Absolutely.
Now, good morning, everybody. All right, so we started this story yesterday, but part 2 is even better. So here he is, living a happy retirement as a high school football coach, spending time with his 10 children and 1 grandchild. But this morning, we hear from Philip Rivers himself when the NFL comes a-calling. This morning, NFL's 44-year-old grandfather, Philip Rivers, is back, speaking out as he prepares to potentially take the field for the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday.
They wanted me, and, you know, I try to keep it as simple as that. That's what I'm talking about! Heck yeah! Woo!
It's been almost 5 years since the father of 10 and former Colts quarterback played in the league.
Rivers throws off his back foot, lofts it down the far sideline. The ball's caught, Nyheim Hines, touchdown, INDY!
Meanwhile, he's been a busy high school football coach in Alabama.
Orange Jones is grabbing the other leg.
Yes.
Oh, he may need to come out of this game.
But he says when he saw Colts quarterback Daniel Jones go down with an Achilles injury during Sunday's game, he wondered if he might get a call.
I kind of thought that ship had sailed, but something about it excited me. And it's kind of one of those deals, the door opens and you can either walk through it and find out if you can do it or run from it.
Rivers acknowledges the challenges ahead, but says this is a chance he could not pass up and one that his family, friends, and students are excited about.
My boys are fired up, obviously, but I think share the same sentiment. A little nervous, like, Dad, you think you can do it, you know? And then my older girls are real excited. They're grown adults, married, and they remember 16 years old going to the ball game. So it's been a whirlwind.
It's the kind of story that gives even learner fans like me something to be excited about, looking forward. All right, Rivers has a long history with Colts head coach Shane Steichen. Steichen was an offensive quarterback coach for several years during Rivers' years with the Chargers. So tonight's Thursday night football game pits the Atlanta Falcons against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an NFL South battle. Tampa is tied for the division lead with Carolina Panthers, so this could have playoff implications if there's a tie-breaking scenario, I'm told.
I have no idea.
If you didn't add the I'm told, I was like,
you have no
nailed
idea.
it.
Yeah.
But I do wish.
Believable.
Yeah. And I do wish Philip Rivers. He's a great player before. Hopefully comes up and comes back and really helps the Colts, who had a great start to the season but hasn't been so good lately. But coming up, Will Reeve had the $1 billion dream. Hey, Will.
Yeah, I guess I do, Michael. Good morning. The Powerball jackpot, it keeps getting bigger after another drawing with no winning ticket, and I'll tell you how much is up for grabs in the next drawing coming up at 7:30.
Plus, the former University of Michigan football coach detained by police hours after he was fired by the school.
And the miracle baby born after a rare and dangerous pregnancy. The parents speaking exclusively to GMA this morning.
Stay right there. We're just getting started, and we will be right back.
Will's got the other headlines.
I do, George. Good morning. Luigi Mangione is due back in court today, and that is where we begin at 7:30. Mangione's defense attorneys are trying to disqualify some of the evidence collected during his arrest. Police body cam footage released this week showed officers questioning the accused killer before he was taken into custody. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to murdering United Healthcare's CEO Brian Thompson last December. And measles cases are on the rise across the country. 84 new cases have been reported in the past week, and South Carolina, more than 250 people there are in quarantine after possible exposure, according to state health officials. Since October, there have been 111 measles cases reported in the state, a majority of which presenting in unvaccinated patients. And at least 10 more cases of infant botulism are now being linked to that recalled By-Heart baby formula. At least 51 infants have been hospitalized since December of 2023. No deaths have been reported. Investigators now looking for more possible cases dating back to the product's launch in 2022. And you can dream a little bigger this morning because the Powerball jackpot is now worth $1 billion with a cash value of more than $460 million. There was no winner again last night, so we all still have a chance for the next drawing, which is on Saturday night. That'd be a heck of a weekend.
That would be a great weekend indeed. All right, well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. We're going to turn now to a surprising story about former University of Michigan football star Sherrone Moore, detailed by police hours after the school fired him following its investigation that he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Whit Johnson is here with the latest on this. Good morning, Whit.
Hey, Michael, good morning to you. This is another blow to one of the most storied college football programs in America. Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore fired and then quickly taken into custody after the university says it found credible evidence of inappropriate behavior.
Overnight, just hours after being fired as the University of Michigan's head football coach, Sherrone Moore detained on allegations of assault. Police responding to a call Wednesday in the Pittsville Township area where they say a suspect was taken into custody, adding the incident does not appear to be random in nature.
It went from being a football story at about 4 o'clock to being a much more serious story than that.
The investigation does not name Moore and no charges have been filed. Hours earlier, the University of Michigan announcing in a statement it fired the 39-year-old married father of 3 with cause effective immediately after the school says he allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, saying UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior.
This is something that's been percolating at Michigan for the last couple weeks. There was initial flurry of speculation and an early investigation that died down toward the end of the regular season.
And Sherrone Moore was able to build a game plan that put his quarterback in a great position to succeed today.
Moore was hired by Michigan in 2018 as a tight ends coach before rising up the ranks and becoming Michigan's head coach in 2024 after Jim Harbaugh left to join the NFL.
One final sack for this Michigan defense.
Moore leading the Wolverines to a 17-8 record in his 2 seasons at the helm, but the program has been mired in controversy. In 2023, then Michigan coach Harbaugh was suspended after a Wolverines football analyst was accused of a scheme to steal signals from opposing football teams. Moore, who served as interim head coach at the time, also suspended multiple games. And another former coach, Matthew Wise, facing charges, accused of stealing private and intimate images of student athletes. That case is still ongoing. Wise has pleaded not guilty.
And Michigan's football season is not over yet. They take on Texas in the Citrus Bowl on New Year's Eve. The team will be led by an interim head coach. ABC News has reached out to Moore for comment, but we have not received a response yet. It's just been a stunning 24 hours.
I know we're all stunned, but imagine these student athletes.
And they still have to play.
Exactly. All right, thank
Thanks,
you,
Whit. Now to the newborn the doctors are calling a miracle baby. He was born after a rare and dangerous pregnancy. His parents are sharing their story first on GMA with Morgan Norwood. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning to you, George. Just an incredible story here. So Susie Lopez stepped into surgery, preparing for the fight of her life, removing a 22-pound cyst hanging on her ovary. But what doctors found was life itself, a baby growing outside of the womb, far from where any child would or should. And yet, against all odds, he held on.
This morning, a medical marvel. Susie Lopez went in for surgery at Cedars-Sinai to remove a more than 20-pound ovarian cyst, but came out holding the very child she never knew she was carrying.
I knew that I was pregnant for about 5 days. Very good.
The standard pre-op pregnancy test revealing the shocking discovery.
I wasn't even believing it at first because I have ovarian problems, so I was thinking it was like a false positive.
Susie giving her husband Andrew the good news.
I thought she was joking, and it didn't really sink in until I actually got a little gift from her, and it was at a Dodger game. It was surreal.
Doctors ordering an MRI and were stunned at what they saw.
He was located outside of the uterus, posterior to this big ovarian mass in the abdomen. So his head was up on the left side of her abdomen under the spleen. And it makes sense that she didn't know because the baby was in her abdomen behind the mass, and it just looked like the mass was growing.
Susie had what's called an abdominal ectopic pregnancy, extremely rare and life-threatening for both mom and baby.
He's still very sick.
You okay?
And we're needing to do a lot to support him.
On August 18th, a team of 30 medical professionals removing the giant cyst and delivering the full-term baby named Ryu. Hi, Ryu. Weighing 8 pounds and in remarkably good health.
How are you today? Good morning.
I was amazed by this little guy. He came out of the anesthesia pretty quickly, and he was like feisty little guy by the time we got into the NICU.
Susie recovering quickly, now at home surrounded by her husband and teenage daughter Kyla. Doctors calling Ryu a miracle, and after 17 years of praying for a second baby, Mom and Dad say he's nothing short of a gift.
Miracles happen, and he definitely was a miracle for us.
Truly a miracle, and the whole desk says, "Oh, because he's adorable." They named him Ryu after the Street Fighter character because he is truly a fighter.
Yeah, right?
And then also today, Dad is graduating from nursing school, so just a big day for the Lopez family.
What a wonderful day.
Great story. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Now, with Christmas crunch time, just 2 weeks to go.
Can't believe it.
Our GMA Dream Team is on deck to help you get ready. Larry's got the key dates for getting your packages where they need to go on time. But let's kick off with our consumer correspondent, Becky Worley. And Becky, you got everything we need to know about shopping. Good morning.
That's right. Good morning, Robin. The big message here, don't panic. There's still deals to be had if you haven't bought your Christmas gifts yet. But based on Adobe's latest numbers, a lot of people have been shopping. Cyber Week brought in more than $44 billion in online spending, and Adobe expects the full 2025 holiday season through the 31st of December to hit $253.4 billion. That's up more than 5% from last year. So big categories that are driving purchases: electronics, apparel, and furniture. Right now, toys are front of mind for many gift buyers. So hot sellers are K-pop Demon Hunter action figures, DIY craft kits, Play-Doh sets, Ms. Rachel learning toys. That's really hot, I guess. And there are some toy sales out there. We see Target offering $25 off of a purchase of $100 or more in toys, or you can get $10 off of $50 of spending. And Adobe says that as we count down to the end of free shipping, which Lara will talk to us about in a second, look for lingering deals in a few categories. For computers, they say a good discount is 20% off, apparel 18% off in price, and sporting goods, look for 15% off. Guys.
All right, Becca, you have done your part. Now Lara's going to have the dates we need to know to get those gifts under the tree. Furniture under the tree would be a little tough, though.
Yeah, that was a new one for me. Merry Christmas, here's a couch. But we do have a lot of important information, so grab a pen and paper. Here we go. An estimated 2.3 billion packages are shipped during the holiday season, and here are your key dates to guarantee they arrive before the big day. For standard shipping through the post office, the deadline to mail items is December 17th. Okay. Standard shipping with FedEx has a December 15th cutoff. UPS says its deadline is December 17th for ground shipping, but that it can vary. So please do check with your nearest location. Now, if you need a little more time for your shopping and you don't mind spending a little more on the shipping, the U.S. Postal Service will take your presents up till December 18th for their priority mail service. You can also use FedEx's Express Saver option through December 28th. That one seems to be appealing to the desk. And if you really like to push it, guys, and I'm looking at you, Strahan, UPS says you can bring your packages to them as late as December 23rd for their UPS next day error. Remember, though, the longer you wait, the more it will cost. Now, a few additional tips to save money on shipping. Ask the stores where you're buying the gifts about any free shipping options, or if they ship packages directly. That can be cost effective and more efficient for you. And finally, consider flat rate boxes from the U.S. Postal Service. They do offer a range of envelope and box sizes at a fixed cost that's often lower than their competitors. I feel like I work for them. I was like, but we got it all in there, and there are a lot of great options out there.
So much
great
information.
ideas.
I mean, you talking about me, I'm like, get it when you get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Just happy you got it.
I toss him up to Santa as he passes. It's our 50 States in 50 Weeks series. Let's go to Rhiannon in Maine. Hey, Rhiannon, what's up, lady?
Hey, Sam. Yes, we are here in Kennebunkport, which takes Christmas so seriously. They have a 2-week seaside celebration. It's called the Christmas Prelude. So the town is decorated so beautifully. We're here at the Nonantum Resort, which is also decorated. And this is just one of the things that makes Maine so very special.
From the luscious forests and national parks to the nearly 3,500 miles of coastline and its 4,600 offshore islands. And that doesn't even include the 32,000 miles of rivers and streams. Welcome to the picturesque, dreamy Maine. And speaking of dreamy,
from now on, you can expect that I'm going to show up.
The birthplace of McDreamy himself, Patrick Dempsey.
Beautiful day to save lives.
And Anna Kendrick.
I got my ticket for the long way round.
Also outdoor retailer LL Bean. Before officially being founded in 1820, the state is a product of the Ice Age. Maine played a crucial role in the Civil War, standing as an anti-slavery state. Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin in Brunswick. Bangor, Maine became the model for scary towns thanks to author Stephen King, also born here. Kennebunkport is the Bush family's oasis. Check out the more than 60 lighthouses. And when you're hungry, you gotta have the lobster. 90% of the country's lobster supply comes from the 4,600 licensed lobstermen. And did you know that 99% of the country's blueberries come from here? It's no wonder why Maine is a breathtaking piece of heaven all year round.
We have so much more coming up for Maine. Straight ahead, guys, back to you.
Cannot wait for that. We knew about lobster, but blueberries?
99%.
All right.
Yeah.
We love it. Coming up, talking about loving it, Zoe Saldana is going to be here, Live, live here in our studio. Come on back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. State of emergency. Flooding after days of torrential rain in the Pacific Northwest. The evacuations in the middle of the night. First responders raced to the rescue. Black Hawk Army helicopters on the scene, with rivers at historic levels. And the snow sweeping from the Midwest to the Northeast, with another Arctic blast on the way. Ginger tracking it all.
Remembering Sophie Kinsella, the author of the massively popular Shopaholic series, passing away at 55 years old. Her courageous fight with brain cancer and the legacy she's left behind.
And it's a blockbuster morning. Zoe Saldana, who has starred in more multi-billion-dollar movies than anyone, is here talking about Avatar: Fire and Ash. As we say, good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
And we are looking forward to Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
Also, Rhiannon Ally is up there in Maine, isn't she, for
She
our 50
is,
states?
and she got a lift, George, from Santa.
Whoa.
Look at that, and one of the main attractions up there looks like the lobsters are Santa's elves this morning in one of the top Christmas towns in the country. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, first time I've ever seen lobster elves, but we'll take it. Plus, Rhiannon, she's also sharing the story of a soccer team bringing joy and winning hearts across the state. And Dr. Narula is here with news that chocolate lovers like myself have been dreaming about forever. So looking forward to that.
All right, slow your roll, player. Okay. But first, a look at the top stories breaking at 8, starting with the extreme weather slamming both coasts this morning. You know Ginger is tracking of them both. Good morning again, Ginge.
Yeah, unfortunately, that up to a foot of rain we were warning about all week has come in the last 3 days in parts of Washington state. There have been water rescues. There have been evacuations overnight. It is a true flood emergency on many of these rivers. So you have the Skykomish River, one of many that are in major flood stage, approaching records as they keep swelling. Even after the rain stops, they're going to keep swelling. I-90 in Washington had to be shut for a time because of a landslide. We're still concerned about that today. That's why we've got flood watches for most of western Washington state. Those blue areas smattering all over, that's a river flood warning. So there are so many rivers that you have to be on the lookout for. We're going to not only have rain still today, it'll dwindle tomorrow. We'll get a little break on Saturday with one dry day before Sunday and Monday when the wet pattern comes back, and we're going to see more rain by next week. That's not a lot of time for those rivers to kind of go down and recede. We'll be watching that carefully. As we are watching in the lee of the lakes, the lake effect snow that's been flying the last 24 hours will keep doing so today. You could have trouble on I-90 if you're going between Buffalo and, say, Erie, and the highest totals will be more than a half foot just east of Dunkirk. Michael.
Whew, that's a lot, Ginger. You're the best. Thank you for bringing that to us. And now to the showdown over health care. The Senate is holding critical votes as time runs out on subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, which is set to expire at the end of the year. If Congress doesn't act, premiums could increase drastically for more than 20 million Americans. Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill with the latest for us. Good morning, Jay.
Michael, good morning. With the clock running out to prevent health care costs from soaring for tens of millions of Americans, the Senate expected to take up two dueling votes today on Democratic and Republican plans, but both are expected to fail. Remember, health care was the central issue for Democrats over the course of the longest government shutdown in American history. But despite that 43-day standoff, they didn't get a deal out of Republicans, just a promise for this vote today. Democrats will put on the floor now a plan that extends expiring Obamacare COVID-era tax credits for 3 years before they run out at the end of this year and cause premiums to skyrocket for some 20 million Americans. Republicans not expected to vote for that. And after weeks of not offering an alternative, they are now out with their own proposal that doesn't extend those tax credits, but instead takes that money and uses it to open health savings accounts for eligible Americans. Democrats calling that a non-starter, which means after this vote today, Congress will likely be back to square one with time running out, George.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, Jay, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a GMA Health Alert. Good news for chocolate lovers. Dr. Taryn Rule is here with some new research showing that eating dark chocolate may help slow aging. I never expect to see a doctor in front of a platter of chocolate. Tell us about the study.
This might be one of my favorite segments ever because I too am a dark chocolate lover. I have it every night, just like you, Michael. So this study really looked at a plant phytochemical called theobromine. Theobromine is derived from the cocoa bean. Actually, the scientific name for the cocoa bean plant is Theobroma, which means food of the gods. So theobromine, it is what makes unsweetened chocolate bitter. It is what is toxic to dogs. It is also found in higher amounts in dark chocolate, and it has purported health benefits. So researchers here looked at 1,600 participants in Europe. They looked at the levels of theobromine in their blood, and they also looked at how their DNA changed in terms of aging. And they found that those with higher levels of theobromine in their blood had slower aging, meaning their biological age was actually less than their chronological or their actual age. They think what's happening may be that theobromine is silencing or activating genes, so turning them on or turning them off. Now, they looked at other compounds or chemicals in cocoa. They did not find that effect with anything else other than the theobromine. And so this is just more research that says, look, food can be harmful to our health, but actually it can also be beneficial. It can be medicine, as we've talked about before.
Right, but that's only one benefit of dark chocolate.
Correct. So there's been like a growing body of research over the last 40 or 50 years around dark chocolate. Actually, one interesting study took place about 30, 40 years ago. Harvard researchers looked at a small tribe in an island off of Panama, the Kuna tribe. They found that those individuals who lived there had lower blood pressure, lower rates of heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes, and they lived longer. When they asked them or looked at how they lived, they found they were consuming 5 cups of cocoa every single day. Cocoa that was high in flavanols. Flavanols are found in tea and red wine, and they have benefits on the blood vessels in terms of dilating them, opening them up, which could improve blood flow. They have antioxidant properties. We also think dark chocolate may help with our cholesterol, raising our good cholesterol, lowering our bad one, helping with blood sugar. So really lots of potential benefits, but before you go reaching for a lot of chocolate, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing in terms of the type of chocolate. So dark chocolate, definitely better than milk. You want to look for dark chocolate that has 70% or more cocoa. That's going to be the one that has more flavanols and less sugar. And you want to limit or moderate the amount you're eating, so about an ounce or 2 a day, which is like 1 or 2 of these little squares. So
I hear everything you're saying. I'm glad you explained it. But you had me at dark chocolate is good. That's all you have to say.
I know. I love it. I eat it every single night, actually, as a dessert.
But it's interesting with the tribe.
It is.
Yeah.
Very. Yes. I mean, they also eat a lot of fruit and fish, right?
Yeah.
So
But
it's
still,
really hard
but
with these
still.
nutrition studies, but still 5 cups of cocoa a day.
It's
a lot.
You're not going to get far with all that. You're not going to get off the desk with all that
Everyone's
chocolate.
welcome to take.
Thank you, Dr. Narula. Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, celebrating the life of author Sophie Kinsella. How the woman behind Confessions of a Shopaholic paved the way for women fiction authors.
Also ahead, it's Emily in Paris week, and this morning Lucien Laviscount is here. He tells us about the plot twist involving his character.
Plus, Tori Johnson is helping us get our holiday shopping done. She's here with deals and steals, including some viewer favorites, up to 70% off. Yeah, Lara and Sam, they are with a special guest. Hey, Lara.
Yes. So, guys, when you think of blockbuster movies, you just have to think of this beautiful woman.
Zoe Saldana. Oh, by the way, every time you hit the screen, it's like $1 billion movie, I think. So we're going to talk about the newest one, Fire and Ash, Avatar. Do you want to make your name known on the wall?
Thank you so
Thank you, Zoe.
Our wall of honor. We'll be
Coming up.
back on Good Morning America.
Ooh, beautiful, bright Thursday morning here in NYC. And I have to say, when I heard this news yesterday, it really took my breath away. Our GMA cover story celebrating the life of Sophie Kinsella, the best-selling author of the Shopaholic series, passing away at the age of 55, leaving behind an incredible legacy. This morning, family and fans mourning the trailblazing author Madeline Wickham, best known by her pen name Sophie Kinsella, after her death at 55 years old. Her family announcing her passing Wednesday after her brave 3-year battle with an incurable aggressive form of brain cancer, saying she died peacefully, with her final days filled with her true loves, family and music and warmth and Christmas and joy. Despite her illness, which she bore with unimaginable courage, Sophie counted herself truly blessed. With more than 50 million books sold across 60 different countries, Kinsella's beloved novels have been a fixture on bookshelves for nearly 3 decades. Confessions of a Shopaholic even making its way to the big screen, with Isla Fisher playing her delightful protagonist, Becky Bloomwood.
Declined.
Can you try again?
Really declined.
Fisher offering her own tribute online, saying in part, "My daughters grew up being read your books and love them to this day. My heart is broken. You are still my hero, and I'm grateful for you. And though we won't meet again, your light and magic lives on in your incredible characters." And Lisa Jewell, who gave her friend a poignant send-off. "Thank you for all the fun and laughter and good times spent together with you, even towards the end. I hope there are designer clothes shops and pianos waiting for you. You deserve the best of everything."
When I'm working out what does my heroine think about life, then it's helping me work out what I think about life.
I had the privilege of sitting down with Kinsella and her husband Henry Wickham last year after her recovery from brain surgery.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk. I couldn't turn my head. I had cognition problems, and I had to have rehab in all of these areas. I was painfully trying to learn how to move my legs again. And actually, this will make you laugh. So being Britain, they said you have to be able to make a cup of tea.
Of course.
They won't let you go home until you can make a cup of tea and prove that you're a functioning British person.
And you have to find the humor.
You do. I mean, that's just my way. I find the humor wherever I can.
What is your happy ending?
My happy ending is that whatever happens to me, my family is okay. I think that's my happy ending. I don't know what my own ending will be. And on my good days, I kind of think my happy ending is the fantasy cure arrives, and then another version of that is that a cure is not found, and that things don't go so well, but that my family is nevertheless okay, because that's what I care about.
As we said, she was Madeline Wickham in her personal life. Her friends called her Maddie, but known to millions by her pen name, Sophie Kinsella. And so many people were touched by her writing and revelations. And you know how we're very blessed, very fortunate, different people cross our paths.
Yeah.
Sitting down with her and her husband, Henry, I mean, she was putting us at ease. Her humor and everything. And I know she was, at the time, she was so excited because she was well enough to go to a wedding in the family. And it was those little things that she was looking.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember the first time you showed that, and it was so powerful, the way she talked about her family. Her spirit was so strong.
Yeah. So she will be missed and loved.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. All right, thank you, Robin. We're going to go now to 50 states in 50 weeks. We're hitting every state leading up to the country's 250th anniversary. This morning, we're up to number 23, the great state of Maine, and Rhiannon Ally is there in Kennebunkport. And Rhiannon, we hear they take Christmas very seriously there. We saw some what, lobster elves?
That's right. We have lobster elves here in Maine, Michael. I feel like I stepped into a Christmas movie, complete with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And yes, those lobster elves you mentioned. It is no surprise that Kennebunkport was named one of the top Christmas towns in the entire country. And another thing that's bringing a lot of joy to people here in Maine is its brand new professional soccer club, Hearts of Pine. Take a look.
The old Lapa Lake
The thrill of the game is electrifying.
You go to one Hearts game and you're hooked.
Portland Hearts of Pine has become a phenomenon across Maine. It's a new team that's part of the United Soccer League's 3rd division of professional soccer. This year's inaugural season, selling out its 5,500-seat stadium and making it all the way to the semifinals.
It's a difficult thing because you're bringing a bunch of players that never played together to a team, and that chemistry kind of takes a while.
Native Mainer and former soccer player Gabe Hoffman-Johnson knew Portland needed a club.
You're building something from scratch. It's truly a community-first driven club.
Every fiber of the club woven by the community for the community.
We're talking with Mainers. We're the Soccer Club of Maine, and who we tell stories about and who we amplify and the things that we shine the spotlight on very often are not even about soccer. And they're not even about the club. It's about people. It's about place. It's about anchored locally in everything that we do.
We want the best for the people that come and support us, and we're willing to go into those areas, whether it's schools, hospitals, wherever we can be helpful and be uplifting, and we take that responsibility seriously.
From oyster roasts to even tattoo events.
Fans like me could get a Hearts tattooed on our body, which just shows our passion for the club.
The fandom as fierce as playing against the rivals.
We do the heartbeat, it's called, where we clap, where there's a drum and then we clap above our heads. The whole stadium does it.
Hearts! Hearts! One familiar fan?
That's Patrick Dempsey.
Grey's Anatomy star, but also Mainer Patrick Dempsey and his Dempsey Center, who are proud sponsors and supporters of the team.
So many, thousands and thousands of Mainers are represented in what Hearts of Pine is, and hopefully it's an invitation and a beacon for what community-minded organizations can accomplish and can be.
As the team looks forward to its 2nd season, their future and hope that a championship win is on the horizon.
That's what this club is. It's an invitation to be your best self. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people want that. They want that pulled out of them. They want to lead with their heart.
We are here with all these great fans. The mascot, this is Moxie the Moose, and this is the founder, Gabe Hoffman-Johnson. And Gabe, thanks for being here. We are so excited because your club had so much success in its first season. You made it all the way to the semifinals, which can be really tough for a new team. How did that feel?
It was incredible. I think this year we surpassed all expectations, both on and off the field. I think the team laid everything out there, but the way that Maine rallied around this club, the way that we put Maine on the American soccer map was really, really special, and the way that we used soccer for good and really found a way to contribute to our state and give back through the sport that we all love.
The whole state has really come together to cheer and root for this team, but you've also seen fans all over the world. What does that feel like?
I think it's validating. We live in a remarkable place. I think Maine is incredible. The people are incredible, and we actually. These jerseys have gone all over the world and all over the U.S., and so we got one for you as well.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yes, you have a new fan here. I think I made the nice list. Oh, we got a cheer too. It's back to you. Awesome.
I love it. Congratulations. And Sam and I love that name, Moxie the Moose. Moxie the Moose, we love that. All right, congratulations. Good luck next season.
Deals and Steals time. Tori Johnson is here to help you wrap up that holiday gift list with some awesome deals.
Yes, okay, I'm so excited about this. Dr. Jason Diamond is one of the hottest, most in-demand plastic surgeons in Beverly Hills. This is his collection, Medicine, and it's the Instafacial collection, which you sold me right there.
I love the tiny spoon.
The spoon goes with this, it attaches to this, but there's 4 individual products. So, plasma's the first step, and that's for repairing and rejuvenating.
Step 1.
Yep, there's this right here that is a infusion that is for firming, defining, contouring. The emulsion right there is for resurfacing and great for skin texture. And then the newest right here, you got to take a little dip of that. That's the Hydro.
Luscious.
That is for hydrating. When that is on your face, it is phenomenal.
Oh, that's really
This
nice.
is a line that is a big savings, 50% off and free shipping, whether you get the whole collection or one of the pieces
Oh, that's
start,
great.
you'll be
Feels
very
good.
excited.
I did put it on my face.
Yeah, it's good. Our favorite, Laura Geller Beauty. We've got a big assortment here. One of the things that's fabulous for gifting are palettes, because sometimes it's difficult. You know, all of the shade products are for you, but the palettes are for gifting. We've got so many different options. Everybody
This one
smells
is amazing.
Isn't
with
that
the
gorgeous?
colors.
And which is great for travel because you get
It's
you
one-stop
every single
shopping.
thing in one, no clutter in your
Yeah.
bag. Everything
It's got the
from Laura
highlighter and
Geller
the
today.
lip.
Yep, and eyes all 50 to 70% off,
kit, too.
plus from Laura Geller free shipping.
Thank you, Laura.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Love your stuff.
Nice,
okay,
nice,
you guys,
nice.
have a look at this. This is Orly making their GMA deals debut. This little number right here that we've got in green and in pink was just named an Oprah favorite. It's the Puffo, and it's a little bit of a shorter cropped one.
Yeah.
But
Very
this is like
cute.
so super cute.
Very
This
trendy.
is so
Very
trendy.
trendy.
And that funnel neck is all the rage.
Exactly. This is the one, like, you put it on and you go, whether you're going to yoga class, running out the door, grabbing your coffee. It's so easy. And then this one right here, you guys might remember years ago, there was the famous Amazon
I was going to say,
coat.
is this that company?
Yes, 29,000
I have mine.
positive
I still
reviews.
have mine.
It's phenomenal. We've got a
let me
huge
feel that
assortment
hood.
from Orly. The prices are phenomenal. From $47 to $90. Everything's half
That's
price
fantastic.
plus free shipping. This
Yeah.
is a good one,
This
you
is
guys.
really, really cute.
That's a good one. Okay,
All right.
we're moving
That's
over
happening.
here to Audion. These are hearing aids, also making their GMA deals debut.
Amazing.
What I love is feel how lightweight. If I give each of you,
Oh, I
super
love this.
discreet, very lightweight. Comes in a case that I don't know if I've turned that one on, but when you have this in the case
Look, it
and
just
it's
goes
charging,
right.
it will also sanitize it. So discreet, crystal clear sound.
I hear you so great. Maybe
do?
I need to get this.
This is a good one, you guys. Hearing aids are typically super expensive.
Right.
I've gotten
and this
so
is
many
you
requests.
just don't see it at all.
It's so clear.
It's
You are
ve-
so clear, and you're on that. Others, wow.
It's
this
a good
works.
one. 50% off and free shipping.
Here's
the
this.
gift of crystal clear sound.
Great
Works.
idea.
Okay,
Taylor.
how about the gift of being wrinkle-free?
Yes.
We've got a lot
Okay.
of options from Steamery. We've got their steamers as well as their, I love the fabric shaver because it literally
too.
turns a pilled knit like brand new in a flash.
Right, and you just don't want to wear it when it's all that, like
That's right.
pilled
And instead
yeah.
of like getting rid of it, just
Right.
repair it
Just
quickly
shave
with
it.
this. All of this is phenomenal, and it's 50% off from Steamery. And then from NutriBullet, this is fabulous.
obsessed, Tori.
This
Me
is
too.
a portable blender. So like this, you blend, then you
And then
flip
you turn
it over,
and then you
sip
just drink right
all
up.
in one,
But
baby.
it's not a cheesy, cheap
No,
little
you see
blade.
how
This is the
serious-
real blade.
That is a significant high torque blade that's going to handle even your frozen ingredients. 57% off
Real deal.
plus free shipping.
You nailed it on these
All right.
gifts. Thank you so much, Tori. Thank you to the companies for the deals. Scan the QR code right there on your screen, or of course, head to our website, gmadeals.com, to check out the products.
All right, coming up, box office record-breaking Zoe Saldana is here, right here in our studio. We'll be right back.
Jake! I'm in this place where I have nothing. Not my people, not my forest. Even my father's bow is gone. All I have is my faith that this is the Great Mother's plan.
So powerful. Oscar winner Zoe Saldana, upcoming Avatar Fire and Ash, and she's right here right now. Welcome. So I know this movie is a long time in the making. 8 years ago, you started audience that has finally seen it. What was it like to be with the audience for the first time?
I mean, there's so much that's going on. You're so nervous because, you know, after you've been with something for so long and you care a great deal, you really want it to land and resonate with people.
Yeah.
And when they are reacting in the most positive way and they're in Pandora with you, it's the most exhilarating sensation. It's
gotta
I have
be.
to say, yeah.
So if you, Zoe,
Yes.
went to Pandora, what would you want to do and see first?
I would want to ride an Ikran. Yes, but first I have to lose my fear of heights.
Well, yeah.
That's small little. And we know it's motion capture. And you said that motion capture is the most empowering form of
Yes.
acting. Why is that?
Because it just it helps you stay completely connected with your actors,
Mhm.
and all you have to do is worry about the heart of the scene versus sometimes being distracted. When you shoot live action, there's just a lot of things in your environment that take place. It's part of also the performance. When you don't have to do anything but imagine this, then it's almost like a form of play. It's very theater.
Yeah.
And it always feels like it's a continuous rehearsal all the time. So you're shooting the rehearsals all the time.
I never heard of it
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That makes
Like,
sense, yeah.
Wow. So our crack research team has this title for you. So you're the first actor ever to have starred in 4 films that have grossed over $2 billion.
Yes.
Avatar, Avengers, and by the way, full on congrats for that. But in all of these, your characters are so different. I know it's going to be hard for you to choose one, but if you had to, which one resonated with you immediately?
It's Neytiri, Avatar. Jim has been one of my favorite directors since I was 6 years old. Even before I even knew who he was, I knew who Ellen Ripley was and who Sarah Connor were from Terminator and Aliens. And these were the iconic women that I looked up to. And I loved science fiction. So for my destiny to have crossed paths with him so early on in my career, it was game-changing for me. I was able to build a very solid career in action, in science fiction, and in other genres, excuse me, because of Avatar.
What was that first meeting like?
It was incredible. First of all, they locked me up in a room at Lightstorm, their offices, for 5 hours so that I can read the script. There was so much secrecy around it. So you had to go to the office and read it. And then when I was done, Jim came in and picked me up, and then we went to his office and we discussed, the script. There I am thinking let me just be an adult, but I'm freaking out. In his office, the wheel of the Titanic is there. There was a sculpture like this tall of Neytiri, and he was like, "That's you," and he just kept looking at me in such a way, and I think that he was trying to find Neytiri in my face. And I was freaking out. And then we went downstairs to the theater, and he auditioned me. He had the camera himself. And he auditioned me. And I walked away getting on a flight back to New York, so I still lived in New York at the time, thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna book this, but I got to interact with one of my idols, and that's enough for me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That just gave me chills. These roles are so demanding. Looking back, is there any one thing that Jim asked you to do that you thought, oh wow, I'm not sure I can do this? Can you remember?
I think it's for Way of Water and Fire and Ash, it's to be in Neytiri's skin as she's losing a child. It's just, to me, that's an unimaginable thing.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to know how to perform that. And then to try to be as Neytiri. Neytiri is not a creature that thinks. She's not calculative. She feels, and she goes by her heart and her instinct. So obviously she felt this great loss through her body. And it was just hard because Sam and I were experiencing such joy in our lives respectively because we were welcoming our family. And then we would have to, say goodbye to our family, drive to work, and it's supposed to be the most thrilling environment when you get paid to do what you love.
Yeah.
And but we were, playing hard scenes for them. For Jake and Neytiri, it's really hard.
It's so deep.
Yeah.
When you explain like that, it's so deep. And I love earlier you said, I built a solid career. I'm just over here kind of laughing inside. Solid? That's just solid.
Come on.
All right.
Academy Award.
Little Dominican girl from Jackson Heights, Queens.
Jackson Heights.
Let's go, Queens.
Yes. What has this ride been like for you?
It's been real. My feet have always been on the ground. I've always been very tribal with my family. So wherever I go, they go, whether they like it or not. Yeah. And thank God they do. They're so supportive. But their sacrifices is not all fun and games. It's a career that's very demanding. You're constantly traveling. You're always on the road. And sometimes you get to miss a lot of parts of your life because you just have to dedicate so much time to what you do. So now that I'm 47, I think that my goal is to appreciate everything that I have, but learn to manage my personal time better.
Good for you.
So I can be a little more present.
Good for you. That's a lesson for all of us.
That is a great lesson.
Cut to Steven Spielberg calls me I gotta go. on.
He actually is calling. So. Larry, thank you for coming in. Avatar Fire and Ash is in theaters next Friday, December 19th.
You forgot to say something, Zoe.
I did.
Okay.
Today is my son's birthday. He turns 9 today. I love you so much. Happy birthday, Zenzilla.
You're welcome.
How about that lead in?
I know. She was panicking. Then she forgot to say happy birthday to our son. We're like, we got you. We got you. Zoe. But we're back now with ESPN host Rich Eisen. You know him from his years on SportsCenter, his Emmy-nominated Rich Eisen show. He co-hosted SportsCenter with the trailblazing Stuart Scott for years. Rich is here to talk about the new documentary celebrating Stuart's life, Booyah. Rich Eisen, thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Whole family here.
This is great. Susie's here, and I just got to meet Zoe Saldana, so I feel like it's my birthday. This is great.
How about this? Zoe opened for you.
She did. I got shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I have shoes to fill.
Yeah, you do.
So.
Can we talk about last night, the
Please.
Booyah?
Yeah.
And Randy Moss
He was
receiving
awesome.
an award.
Yeah, he received the first ever Stuart Scott Impact Award given out at the Booyah event, which is 5 years. He gave, and he's hugging Sydney and Taylor Stewart's daughters, who I've known since they were so young, and he gave a corker of a speech, just talking about his battle and his success in his battle, and then also not just about the impact that we knew he's delivered by himself, but the impact Stuart had on him, talking about how Stuart broadcast on SportsCenter impacted him, as he said, as a person of color, to see somebody that sounds like him, looks like him, talks like him, be so individual and be so
Their authentic
natural.
self. Their
Right, the
self.
authentic self, right.
Yeah.
So it was really awesome. He's moved to tears. All of us were crying. It wasn't a dry eye now.
It was quite an event.
It was great.
Yeah, and I watched the doc yesterday, and wow, that's all I can say. And the Stuart Scott Memorial Cancer Foundation, they've raised over $22 million. They've given out over $22 million in grants. What was it like to have the event last night, the same time as the doc being released?
It was really wild. It's unbelievable. He's been gone for 10 years. Somebody who was so full of life. You knew him.
Yeah.
Many of us here on the set knew him. Did you ever do a SportsCenter with him? Did you ever do? Was there a Robert Stuart Scott?
I wish I did. I wish I had that.
I did about 1 million of them as well. And so just looking up and seeing him looking down on all of us was just really moving, jarring, and then obviously a documentary that does chronicle his greatness. Is awesome, and $3.1 million was raised last night.
Awesome.
So add that to the till that you just mentioned. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
So you guys hosted many years. Your chemistry was palpable. Just an amazing duo.
Yes.
I understand that you have not seen the documentary yet.
No.
And I can understand why. I fully get it. You do, though, have a special plan on how and when you'll do it?
Yeah, I just can't bring myself to see it yet.
Yeah.
I get emotional just even thinking about it. But my wife and I, we met in the newsroom at ESPN, and Stuart had a front row seat to our courtship, and was just an awesome force and somebody who I adored. But my kids, who were 17, 14, and 12, really never saw him do his thing ever, and also have no idea what he means to his parents, and also what he did. They also do know that my computer in my office is password protected, and the clue for it, if I forget, says Stuart Scott. So my youngest son says to me, "Dad, could part of the password be Booyah?" And I'm like, don't know if I want to answer that question. So they might crack the full code, but we want to all watch, obviously when their schoolwork and everything and the responsibilities of the soon-to-be ending semester is over, we'll sit down and watch it together.
That's beautiful.
As a family. That's what we're going to do.
You mentioned how many SportsCenters you've done. To me, I can still see you on the desk, but you were back on the desk recently, and you did take that moment to talk about Stuart. What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, over the years, in 23 years between doing SportsCenters, I would look and see a lot of reunions occurring on ESPN, and I would watch, wondering, would I ever get something like that?
KO and Dan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them. I literally, Robin, when I saw KO and Dan do the show that night, I did turn to Susie, and I'm like, man, they're getting to do the reunion. You know, I never got to do that with Stewart because of whatever was going on professionally, but also cancer robbed everybody of the opportunity to see Stewart do his thing. And then, so when I did finally get that chance, I had to mention him. I had to mention him. And so when I first showed up at the desk that night, I took the seat that Stewart would normally sit in, and somebody from the crew said, "Shouldn't you sit in that other seat?" And I thought to myself, I should. And then we decided to, when I was going to do a Stewart tribute, just leave the chair and put a rundown in front of it.
It was beautiful. It was so powerful.
Because he was there. He's always been there, and it's
the partnership that you have with someone that you work with, and it honestly is, because you're with that person all the time. You work with them. It's an intense relationship.
It is. Stewart would refer to himself as my TV wife.
Yeah.
All the time.
We understand. We totally understand.
Totally get
We
it.
refer to that all the time.
What do you remember most?
I just remember his love of life. I just remember how he was a child. He's truly a child. I just remember his pridefulness of so many things. When KO left, but look at the guy with hair. I'm the one on the right. And so, when KO did leave, his chair was open, Keith Olbermann, and there was a lot of folks on SportsCenter that were trying for the chair. And Stewart heard that I was one of them, and he pulled me aside. He goes, "We're the team here. Like, why would you even think that there's a better thing? Like, you and I are the team."
That's him.
And yes, he was really competitive. I also thought last night he would be so jacked to know that Randy Moss won that first Impact Award, because he loved Randy, and he would also probably think he could high point a ball better than Randy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the sort of essence I was thinking about for him last night.
Well, I can tell you what, watching it, when you see it, you'll see the love that you and everyone else has for Stewart and the impact that he had on all of us.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty neat to hear, and everyone should seek it out.
Yep.
It's now on the ESPN app.
You're taking my lines right now.
Oh, shoot. I didn't.
I
can't turn it off, Robin. I can't turn it off. I'm sorry.
Well, you know
I can't stop.
Hey, welcome back to the family.
Yes. Thank you,
Welcome
Robin.
back
It means
to
a
the
lot
family.
to hear that, especially from you.
My love to Susie. Is
Thank
she
you.
here?
Yeah, she is not here physically. She might be watching on TV.
Okay.
Suze, if you're out there, love you. Good to have you part of this. And she taught your daughter.
Yeah, she
USC
teaches
class.
my daughter in class at USC.
Professor Schuster.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of great trips. They went to St.
Small
Richard's through there, went to the Clippers game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Life
need to go
is
back
good.
to college. That's what I need to do.
We want everybody to know that ESPN's 30 for 30 Booyah, a portrait of Stuart Scott, now streaming on ESPN app and Disney Plus. And The Rich Eisen Show airs weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. on Disney Plus and simulcast on ESPN Radio. Love
Great to see you, Rich.
Coming up, Emily in Paris star Lucien Laviscount is here, and the room is excited.
Yes.
No, I can't do this.
You can do this.
I don't think I can. I really don't.
But just stop thinking about it. Turn off your brain and jump.
Okay. Let's take it from the head flicky thingy.
You want to start with a sassy bit.
Boy, I don't know if I like where this is going. I am concerned about this scene and have many, many questions.
Lucien Laviscount is here. It's Emily in Paris week. I just want to spend time with you. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
We're all Team Alfie, by the way. Always have been. Totally on Team Alfie.
Every single person in the studio is so excited to meet you. We love
you.
this show. That scene is, I don't want to call it a spoiler, but I'm feeling some chemistry between Alfie and Mindy.
Sparks could be happening, might be happening, it might just be helping with the dance, but not to give too much away, but it's going to be an exciting, interesting season.
Well, I'm going to put 2 and 2 together because we have viewers who were watching yesterday. We had Lily Collins on, and she did mention that there's a bit of a rift.
There might be a little
between
rift
her and between.
Oh, this is so good. I can't. We're putting the pieces together.
We are like, you know what? We're like detectives.
You're good at this. You're really good. I'm like, don't say anything, Lucien. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
How fantastic is it to be a part of this cast? How great was Rome?
Gosh, to be able to shoot in these locations with these people that have become my best friends over the past 4 seasons I've been on the show is magic. It's magic. Rome to Paris. They're in Venice this season as well.
Yeah.
We're on tour. We're on tour. It's magical, man. It's magical.
Not only the locations, but the clothing.
Listen,
even the guys get a little bit of that.
Marilyn has it down. So it's like we turn up to work and I don't know, we get to step into this world as these characters, and it's just everything, all the troubles, everything just disappears and disintegrates, and we get to have a blast.
But you're now a fashion superstar. I mean, I think you were always kind of like put together, but now anybody who wants to talk about fashion, they're probably trying to get you for a campaign.
I'll take it. I'll take it. No, honestly, the show introduced me to so many new brands and creatives and stuff like that. So it's nice to dress up.
If you had to pick the show title to be Emily in Paris or Emily in Rome?
Personally, I'm representing Paris on this, but only because I feel like I've got more roots within Paris. Rome's still new to me, it's still exciting. It feels like more of a vacation. Paris feels like home, if that makes sense.
Wow,
yeah, so both magical cities to work in. Right.
Can I just give a little quick shout out, because not only are you part of this show that we love, but you're another Emily Henry's People You Meet on Vacation. I've read the book.
Yes.
You're bringing it to life, and apparently your friends are freaking out that you're part of it.
My friends are going nuts. So I told a friend of mine about it, and we have this little kind of, I call it a little book club. We kind of sign the books and see who's read it before. And I got this tattered Emily Henry book given to me, People Meet on Vacation.
It's such a good story.
And yeah, it's going to be, it's a fun ride. It's a really fun ride. So.
And you're on a great ride. Your career is on fire. We
everything.
love you
So
in
much
the
so that I
show.
want you to come back. I need to spend another 10 minutes with you.
Oh,
Emily in Paris.
I'd love to.
Season 5 premieres next Thursday on Netflix.
You don't want to know. You just have yourself a great day.
Yeah. I'm just saying.